What's up, everybody? I had some great information to give you that I was talking to my agent last night, and we just had a great conversation because what he was saying was, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video, is he didn't want to be the broker with the bad rap name. He didn't want to be the broker who is posting dirt cheap loads on the load board. He didn't want to be the broker who was just dealing with freight to have it get moved for so cheap, to deal with the complaining, the difficulty of even covering the load. You know, carriers probably calling in, talking shit. He doesn't want to be that broker. And I was telling him it could be a number of reasons why that load is posted, from who it's posted from, and just all the factors of why. My take is, and it could be a couple angles we're looking at it. One, what he's saying is he does not want a customer who the freight that they have to move, he doesn't want to be dealing with cheap customers. Let's say they don't pay very well, and so therefore to move that load you're not going to be able to pay carriers very well, so you're going to post dirt cheap loads. Another scenario is, what if we had 10 days to get the cheapest price? So what if the freight that your customer is moving doesn't have to be moved in 10 days from now? So now you have time to get a cheaper rate compared to if you had 10 minutes to get that load moved. So he was telling me, basically, I'm hearing him, and I know what he's saying is he wants a good paying customer, so he doesn't have to penny pinch the carriers, and he wants to pay the carriers a fair rate. Okay, at the beginning, you most likely will have to go through a customer where you're quoting and you have to get the best price, and that may take you a little bit, and it may be hard to cover, and so you might have to do that in the beginning when you're first starting as a broker, and that's okay. Eventually you'll get past that, and that's how it goes. All right, so that's one thing he was telling me. He's telling me maybe he doesn't want a customer, I wouldn't, that's a strong doesn't want, but having 10 days till something moved, till something needs to be moved, it's a good time to post a load and get a lot of pricing and try to get the cheapest freight, cheapest price. So he still falls into that, doesn't want to be that broker who offers cheap rates. And another thing, you got 10 days where anything can happen. So here you could be working, trying to, you know, get good low quotes, and then on the 9th day it cancels. And where I'm going with this is, I shared with him what I do, and it's in the Hotshot industry. It's the niche that I specialize in and found, and compared to having a low paying freight on posted and trying to get the cheapest price, it's hot. It's a hot item, so there's no time to post it and have 10 hours, 10 days, a couple of days to get it moved. Maybe sometimes, but that's not what I'm talking about. Most cases it's a hot item, so there's no time for your customer or those shippers to try to get the cheapest price, to make a bunch of phone calls and see if trucks are available and penny pinch them. All right, they don't got time for that. So you as a broker, your margins are going to be increased, and the freight is going to be paying pretty good. All right, it's going to be paying a lot higher, and Hotshot, it can pay damn good. I mean, it's all how it is and all the factors at play, but it's a lot more money. It's a specialized niche that pays. And so that's what I was sharing with him, exactly what I do. And so once you establish a relationship with the shipper in the Hotshot industry, Now you're dealing with hot loads, good paying freight. You can post a load and pay a fair rate and just keep moving freight. You have to get that load moved, so you don't have time to post it, go through 10 phone calls, try to get the cheapest deal. You need to get that load covered and moved and the truck on the way to the pickup location. So as long as you have a great customer who pays and you got that side covered, you're working with a great solid company where you don't have to question if you're going to get paid. That's the only relationship type you want with your customer, one who pays and you're confident in. Therefore, you're able to do your job as a broker. You'll get paid, you can pay the carrier, all right? And you create a relationship with a shipper in the hotshot industry, high paying freight, all right? And once they trust you, they're not really asking you, hey, can you get it for this much, They allow you, they trust you, and it only happens when you are a specialist, okay? I can claim that to where they trust me completely. Same with carriers. That's where it's at. A lot of times, carrier knows I'll pay him well, customer knows I'm going to be taking care of him, right? And then we're going to get the job done, and there's not going to be any issues. Otherwise, I'll solve them, and that'd be a great thing. But that's how that goes. So you may want to think about that and I'll tell you, I worked at a commercial flooring company before being a broker. And so when I became a broker, I tried to get the business of shipping rolls of commercial carpet. I couldn't, and this is after I've been doing Hotshots, okay? So I posted drive-in and I dabbled in that. I could never come close to being the cheapest for what he was doing. Now, of course, he had his connections and I'm not even used to doing drive-in, but still, it was one of those where you have to, I guess you have time to move it and they're expecting a cheap price, and that's where you have to really get the freight low and deal with carriers challenging to book it, complaints, whatever, etc. Where in the hotshot, it's not like that at all. So, you're just looking at two different kind of scenarios and what the difference is when you have time to move something versus a hot item. What do you want to move? You know what I mean? What do you want to get involved in? What do you want your thing to be? And if you like, that's what I like about Hotshots. I know how to do it. I was a carrier in the hotshot industry before. I was a driver. So I'm going to these same places, loading up the same type of equipment. So I get it, and what I like about it is there is no time, touching back earlier, there is no time to talk to a bunch of brokers, talk to a bunch of carriers and try to get a low price. They are looking to trust somebody who knows what they're doing, so they can make one phone call and that's it. So I like that. I don't like being up on the wall and there's 10 other brokers and I'm trying to whore myself out. You know what I mean? And maybe I'll get it, and I don't even know when I'll know if I won the bid or not. I'm just being taken for a ride. Am I going to be the cheapest guy on the wall? So there's none of that in the hotshot industry, and it pays well. All right, hope that gives you something to think about on what type of freight, different kinds are out there, and what you want to get involved in. Take care.